Guten Tag, everybody. Welcome to Midnight Chillers, a show that's usually on at midnight. It's named Midnight Chillers, but tonight is special. Decided to have a 7 p.m. Friday night special showing because I did it before and I played a little bit of a movie I really love called Nightmare Castle. My name is Edgar Von Groove. Welcome to my show in my house where I play crazy movies every week at midnight. Oh, we have fun here. It's in the haunted house. So tonight's movie is going to be special. It's called Nightmare Castle. I have no idea what it's about. I've tried to watch it several times and I've been just completely confused. I'm sure maybe you can understand it if you're watching and you enjoy these kind of movies. It stars the immortal Barbara Steele, who was a big Italian horror movie star. Been in like tons of movies, so you can enjoy seeing her. The movie, I don't understand. It's something about a husband kills the wife, and then there's another murder. There's always somebody jealous. There's always somebody like having an affair or something. It's like it's like that show Dark Shadows. Remember that one, Steven? You remember Dark Shadows? That was a great show. This episode of Dark Shadows I love because they filmed it live, like I'm doing here, live TV, and a fire broke out. And they kept going, filming, because they were live, and in the middle of the scene, you can hear fire extinguishers going off. And they just kept going. Because that's what you do with live TV. You keep going, no matter what. You're live. Like, I'm live right now. I'm wild. I'm like, yeah. I'm ready to go. Are we ready to go, Steven?
No, we gotta do a little more stuff.
Okay. So, anyway, so Nightmare Castle is an Italian horror film. Italians really made the best kind of horror films back in the 60s and 70s. There was stuff like demons and opera and zombie flesh eaters. There's a lot of great Italian horror. They were the masters of the weirdness. Like Twitch of the Death Nerve is a good one you might enjoy. I love that one. That was the one that kind of inspired like the slasher movies of later. You see a lot of like scenes from Twitch of the Death Nerve that were ripped off of Friday the 13th Part 2. Like there were several kills in Twitch of the Death Nerve that you actually see, but they just ripped it off. And they just said this is the exact same thing, but who cares? Because back then no one really cared about stuff like that. They never paid attention, so anything goes. The Old West, the horror was in the 70s and 80s whenever anybody could make a movie. Unlike today, well, actually today is a new age of it where people are actually making horror films with their telephones. It's amazing. This is a new generation, and a new generation of great horror directors are out there, so...
You can make crappy films everywhere now.
You make a movie anywhere now. Hey, I'm doing this! Anyway, Steven's giving me the thumbs up. We're ready to roll. So this is Nightmare Castle. Enjoy.
At this rate, you'll destroy all the frogs in the entire county, my dear.
I asked you before not to come down to my laboratory while I'm busy with my experiments.
Oh. If these animals could speak, they'd have something to say about your tastes.
This always happens when you permit yourself to overindulge in your brandy. You are trying to provoke me, but this is not the moment, dear.
You're leaving for the Edinburgh Congress with a lot of fanatical good-for-nothings like yourself, I suppose.
Don't you ever dare to speak to me like that, Muriel.
Oh, Stephen, you mustn't mind if I care about your going away so frequently. After all, I'm your wife. And I'd like to spend the night with you. Oh, Solange. So you saw everything. You even enjoyed it, I presume, didn't you?
I am too old for that sort of thing, Baroness. I only wanted to ask the doctor his orders regarding the luggage. It's so late, and it's a long journey.
I'm coming now. Why is he so nervous?
He's been left in the stable too long. The drive will do him good.
Keep your eyes open, David. I entrust my wife's safety to you.
Those new plants that just arrived today, sir, shall I leave them outside?
Put them in the greenhouse, but look after them. They need a lot of water.
I'll see to it, sir. Have a good journey. At last. I thought he would never go, that devil.
Oh, poor Stephen. You know I don't like you to talk about him that way.
Why? Do you still love him? You're just making a fool of me.
It's you I love. I'm going to rid you of your vulgar ways and replace them with others much more subtle and refined.
I don't understand you.
It doesn't matter. No! Oh! You had your revenge? Why didn't you kill me? Kill both of us!
I will kill you, you tart, you! You and your filthy friends! But death, my dear, must come to you only after I've torn from your bodies all the suffering and pain a human being can stand. And you don't know yet how long it takes to die of pain.
Oh, you're a monster. You don't know the hate I have inside. If you could see it, you would be terrified. You would kill me at once. But even by killing me, you can't free yourself from my hatred, Stephen Arrowsmith. You can kill my body, but I'll never leave you in peace. Never, never!
I'm not afraid of the dead. Corpses are destined to rot and fertilize the earth.
I can still hurt you while I'm alive, Stephen. You thought you would inherit everything if I died, didn't you? My castle, all my wealth, so that you could continue your dirty experiments. But you've made a tremendous mistake, you know, Stephen. Do you understand that? Because I made a new will after I realized what a vile, perverted monster I married. I made a new will in which I bequeathed everything through good hands to my stepsister, Jenny. Ha! You didn't expect that, did you, Stephen? That I'd leave everything to that simpering idiot.
I would spare you both in exchange for that will. You could go away, together, free.
Don't believe him. Once he has obtained what he wants, he'll kill us just the same. How can you trust such a monster?
Silence, you stupid pig! Well, do you agree?
No. No! No!
Everything to her stepsister, to that irresponsible idiot. So it's all been for nothing. You can't kill her now. You must let her live.
I have no intention of doing so.
Why do you think I have helped you? Just to pamper your jealousy and your twisted instincts? You are wrong. I wouldn't risk the gallows for so little. I want my share. You promised it to me. You must be the heir, and I along with you.
And that is exactly what will happen. I shall not give up my revenge. You must not forget that Muriel alive would be too great a danger for me and for you. No. No one will ever discover how my wife died. And Jenny will inherit everything. But Jenny is mad, and that is a well-known fact. What can she do with all that money? Her place is in a lunatic asylum, while I shall discover the secret that man has been looking for since the beginning of time. And don't be afraid. You will get your reward. A reward that will be more precious to you than all the wealth in the world. Now you'll see. Now you'll feel what I felt.
No! No!
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. You beast, you. Muriel, please. I can't stand it. Go away. Muriel! Muriel!
No!
You're home, Jenny. You didn't expect it to be so big. Hampton Castle is the largest in the county. I'm sure you'll feel at home here. And this is Solange. She will look after you and be useful to you in many ways.
Welcome home, Miss Hampton.
Miss Hampton? But she is my wife, the second Mrs. Arrowsmith. We were just married this very morning.
I beg your... yes, certainly. Come in, Mrs. Arrowsmith.
Oh, what a peculiar plant. I've never seen one like it before.
So fleshy, you mean?
Yes.
A rare plant. Nepenthe iridata. It is very dear to me.
Now you can see how much you look like your stepsister.
It's incredible. If it weren't for the hair, you'd say we were the same person.
The dressing room is just in there.
Thank you. I have a slight headache. I think I'll feel better if I take off my hat.
You owe me an explanation, Stephen.
What do you mean?
Why did you marry her? We never spoke about it.
What on earth's the matter, dear? Oh, what an unpleasant surprise for you. Don't worry, it's harmless. It disappeared from my laboratory a few days ago. I couldn't find it anywhere. It's come a long way. I promise you, it will never happen another time. I'll take it back to the laboratory.
What do you intend to do with her? Why did you marry her? We had a different plan.
Then, I thought she was a poor imbecile, ugly and repulsive.
And instead, she is beautiful and reminds you of Muriel. You are still in love with that witch.
As far as witches are concerned, you are no one to talk. Muriel, as you know, I hated her. And Jenny? Yes, I might even come to like her.
So now we'll never get rid of Jenny again, as you promised me you would. I shall have to put up with another mistress.
On the surface, Jenny seems normal, but her doctor told me that her sanity hangs by a thread, and living here could easily snap it. It would not be difficult to find a doctor willing to testify regarding her condition, and then I shall be legally responsible for the custody of her person and wealth. This seems to me the best and surely the safest way out.
But anything unexpected might possibly crop up. Who will guarantee to us that her mental condition will get worse?
I'll see to that. Look here.
You like it?
Superb. You are wonderful. No, stop. That chair. It's somewhat special. It could be dangerous.
Oh, really? Why?
It's a piece from the rather bizarre collection of your ancestors.
I see.
wonder if they watched this based on Pirates of the Caribbean, it didn't have a head, or that was just the fact that this is like a crappy, like third generation VHS dubbing turned to DVD type thing. They do that a lot. They don't take the time to really, get the footage restored up to like the right quality for DVD. They just dub rack DVD, VHS, or 35 millimeter straight to DVD. So there's a lot of clicks and scratches and all these kinds of things. Okay, my wife pointed out something that I was not aware of, is that Barbara Steele plays both roles. It went over my head. I didn't realize it. That felt stupid. Watching, I was like, oh my god, this is Barbara Steele playing both roles. Because like he kills his wife and marries her little sister, and just to get the money. It's like one of those Tales from the Crypt or like Dark Shadows type stories, where like, the rich family, and like there's like the episode of Twilight Zone that was like that. It was about the masks that the people wore, and they had to keep the masks on until midnight, or otherwise they wouldn't get any money from the inheritance from the rich grandpa. That's what this reminds me of. Is a lot of that, but that happened a lot back in the Victorian era. Lots of people playing games with wills and inheritance and all this, messing around with money and all this stuff. So they would marry their cousins and all this craziness. So that's what it reminds me of. It's like, it's a little slow, but it's interesting, because he's got that creepy gothic vibe to it, and you got the guy who looks like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. And they're around beating people with canes and capturing snakes and doing experiments, trying to find the thing that mankind has been searching for its entire existence. Turn lead into gold? I don't know. Paper into gold? I don't know. They just do that. Oh, what you doing there, Steven?
Letting people see what they're missing.
Oh, we're missing something cool. It's a dialogue scene. Yeah, there's some talking going on here. That's cool. Oh, we're probably missing big plot points anyway. So it's been a long time since I watched it, so it's like I'm enjoying just sitting here. I'm watching it for the first time. I'm enjoying this.
Of an over-receptive mind.
It kind of gives me that weird feeling that I used to get when I was a teenager and I watched Dark Shadows on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the early 90s. It was like, I love that stuff. I love the old Twilight Zone. I love black and white films. It's fun. So this is live here on Santa Maria right now. So what I'm gonna say is, look out for what is it? Phantom events soon. They're gonna be playing the old Twilight Zone episodes at the theater. There's gonna be a bunch of episodes of that going up soon. That's pretty cool. They'll be looking into going to see that here in Santa Maria. So that's the cool stuff going on here in town. You ready for Halloween? We'll do something special for Halloween this year. So getting back to talking about the Twilight Zone, which is one of my favorite shows back in the day, and it's coming back, and it looks really cool. So I'm all like, yes, Twilight Zone. That's the grandfather of all this stuff. Then there's Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt, Monsters.
Perhaps she wasn't feeling very well.
What else was there? Oh yeah, the new one is Black Mirror. That one is epic. I love that one. So anyway, this is an Italian horror film dubbed into English, which was done a lot back then because it was cheaper. Instead of making the movie yourself, you buy a movie from somebody else. The best one, the one that started all this, was Rome Open City back in the late 40s. That movie was smuggled out of Italy after World War II in a soldier's duffel bag, and it was taken and it was shown here in the United States, and it was banned for being too violent.
It's Jenny. She must be down below in the vault.
And that was started the whole movement. It's like this whole thing of, this is not safe for people, this is too violent, this is going to offend people. And then everybody wanted it anyway. I mean, it happened all over America back in the 50s. No, it's like, it's like you say this is not acceptable. You can't show this. People want to see it even more. You know, that's the thing I notice about violence and sex in movies is like the more you show, the more people get offended. The more other people go to watch it to see why you were so offended.
I try to remember. But when everything is coming
People are gonna watch it anyway.
my memory is
It's not gonna change anything. I don't think watching a horror film is gonna turn you into a serial killer. I doubt that.
I was there with you in
But I always find that funny. It's like when when they tell you don't do this, all you keep thinking about is I gotta do this. I gotta watch this movie. Like I grew up in the '80s, and back then, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Friday the 13th,
I was trying to move
The Blob, The Fly, all these really gory horror films. I wasn't allowed to watch them, so I would sneak in and watch them
terrified.
because you want that forbidden fruit,
The door and tried to get
which
out.
is basically the point I'm trying to make.
From the inside, and I couldn't
So
open it.
don't get offended by violence
I
because,
screamed.
you know,
So afraid of dying.
it's not gonna change it. I don't know where I'm going with this. I went off the rails. And everybody's laughing at me. I'm crazy, but anyway. I was saying, don't get offended by violence because it's art, it's fiction, it's fake, it's for fun. So if this offends you, I'm sorry, but you know that's art. Art is supposed to provoke you. It's supposed to make you go, oh, what is that? I think I'm going off the trails again. Steven's laughing. So I'm gonna take you back to Nightmare Castle now, and I'll be back in a little bit to talk some more. Auf Wiedersehen.
Before I came here.
Perhaps we acted a little rashly in bringing you over here so soon. Maybe it was my fault. But I wanted you here with me.
You won't send me back to the clinic, will you, Stephen? Tell me the truth, please.
No, dear. I want you here. But I also want you to get better and to be happy. Therefore, I've decided to invite Dr. Joyce to come here. He had you under his care for a long time, and he knows your case well. And here he will be able to look after you, observe you, and study the remedies that are best suited to you. You will continue on as if nothing had ever happened, and the doctor will be only a guest. You trust him, don't you?
All right, but do stop treating me like a mad woman, Stephen, won't you, please?
What foolish talk is that? Now, take this mild drug, and you will have a nice sleep without any nightmares.
I don't want it. I'm afraid of going to sleep.
Just as you like. I will be right there in the armchair with my reading. Welcome to Hampton Castle, Dr. Joyce. Did you have a good journey?
Yes, thank you.
I'm very pleased to see you. And so, I'm sure, is my wife.
How are you, Lady Arrowsmith? I must say you're looking extremely well.
Oh, appearances can be deceptive, Doctor. However, I'm so pleased to see you again. What a lovely day. I didn't realize it. I hardly ever go out. Hampton Castle has become for me a sort of magnificent prison. Come. Let's take a stroll in the park. You know, there's a very strange, wild, rugged part behind the castle, which I'd like to show you.
Jenny? But, dearest, the doctor has only just arrived. Perhaps later on.
It doesn't matter. Jenny, I would like to come.
No, my husband's quite right. Napoleon 1861. It's a wonderful brandy. Such a marvelous aroma.
I thought you didn't drink.
Many years ago, this castle may have lacked water, but it certainly never lacked alcohol. This was one of Muriel's very favorite drinks.
Jenny, Your husband has told me about everything that has recently happened here. You know, I am here only to help you. And, you must try and force yourself to remember the details of what happened to you. Something that will help us to understand the cause.
I don't know. In those moments, it's as if another person took possession of my mind and my body, and everything becomes vague and confused without any reason.
And yet, there must be a reason. When you came here, your mental condition was perfect. Therefore, the reason for your trouble must be sought in these surroundings. Jenny, do you have any suspicions that your mind...
No, I don't think so. Yet I saw blood where there wasn't any. And I heard sounds where there weren't any. And there was that tomb. And that name.
David? Oh, yes, David. You said that name coming out of the nightmare. And that name could perhaps help you to remember your dream.
Are you really convinced? Why are you so interested in me? Or maybe you're like Stephen, you're convinced I'm insane.
If what you're suggesting were so, I would not be here. And I'm going to help you, whether you like it or not.
There is nothing to discover. You won't discover anything, Doctor.
I hope I'm not disturbing you, Doctor, and that things are already improving. Later, if you'd like to come down to my laboratory, I shall be pleased to show you some experiments I've made on the electrolytic treatment of the blood. Why are you laughing, dear?
You and your experiments.
Jenny, do you hear me? What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry, Stephen. I was confused.
It's not important. It doesn't matter. Doctor, if I can help you, don't hesitate to ask me. Even though I assure you I have already told you as much as I know.
Thank you. I'll come to see your laboratory later. You must remember. You dreamt you were here, didn't you?
I don't know. I don't remember. Don't torment me, please. Let me leave this place.
Well, if you don't want me to help you. However, I warn you. You will end up a prisoner of your madness and obsessions forever.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think I was standing there where you are now. David was embracing me. Suddenly he was hit on the face. My earring fell off, down in those leaves. I'm sure we will find it. What's that? That's it. I lost it while he was kissing me.
Who was kissing you?
I don't remember. It was dark. And then somebody came in while we were... I'm sorry, it's all so vague.
Had you seen the earring before?
No, only that time.
But, are you sure you couldn't have lost it on some other occasion? Or under different circumstances?
No, it's the first time I've ever seen it. The earring doesn't belong to me.
It's very strange.
Be careful. It was possible for me to give you back your youth, but I could do nothing about your mind.
It doesn't matter, Doctor. It's not my mind which is useful to you when you need it.
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
I thought you had forgotten my invitation.
Oh,
Come along. I want to show you a unique experiment which could have sensational developments.
oh, very interesting, but if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to you about your wife's illness. I'm sure that Jenny's hallucinations come partly from her sick mind. And I'm sure that they must also have a cause and foundation in the reality that surrounds her.
No one could wish it were so, more than I do. But unfortunately, various symptoms seem to point to the contrary.
I thought so too, at first. But look,
An earring.
yes,
And so?
it was in the greenhouse, under the leaves, exactly where Jenny dreamt she was. But it doesn't belong to her, so it belongs to another woman. Muriel, for example, with whom Jenny identifies herself in the dream. This earring proves that there is something real behind Jenny's nightmares. And if we can discover what it is, we will solve the mystery.
Her ladyship has acquired the habit of hiding things about the house and then forgetting later where she has put them. I told you about this.
Oh, yes. It's true. A form of kleptomania.
And so, what of the other earring?
I don't think it should be difficult to find it. I'm sure it must be among her other jewels, naturally. If you'll allow me, I'll go and have a look.
This would explain your strange discovery. Go along, Solange, and then rejoin us in the living room. Oh, I had almost forgotten. Lady Arrowsmith has changed her room. I don't think you knew about it. In the meantime, let me show you now the experiment I was speaking to you about.
Excuse me, madame. Dr. Stephen would like to show Dr. Joyce some of your jewelry. If you would like to go down yourself, they will be very pleased.
Oh, I'll come down with you then.
Please, may I take your jewel box?
Why, yes, of course.
The earring is one of those in the portrait. There was no doubt about it. It's true, then, that they belong to Muriel.
Undoubtedly. You see, my dear Derek, at first I was rather embarrassed to admit that my wife sometimes hides certain things. You know, without any reason and without remembering it.
Solange says that you'd like to see my jewelry. I'm afraid they're not collection pieces, but I'll gladly show them to you.
I should like to see them. You're very kind, you know.
Here's an emerald and diamond necklace that I like very much. Oh, and here's a gold bracelet that belonged to my mother. This one is from Sanssouci.
Beautiful.
And this is an earring that's...
And these are Muriel's earrings, dearest. You have never worn them.
How do you explain these things?
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Poor Jenny. She becomes stranger all the time. Do you really think it was wise of you to decide to let her sleep alone?
As things are at the moment, it certainly can't do her any harm. One must proceed blindly, by trial and error. Her memory is blocked just now.
Yes. I realize that her condition doesn't leave us much hope. And I know that you're doing everything humanly possible to help her.
Oh, Stephen! Doctor!
You should be more careful. Let's go down to the laboratory. We must stop the bleeding at once.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
No, thank you. It's nothing. She has a blood disease, nothing serious, but we must stop the hemorrhage immediately, otherwise it could be dangerous. Come along, Solange. It's been successful again this time. But the solution can't last much longer.
Jenny. Jenny! My blood! Downstairs in the laboratory. Go! Go! Hurry!
Annabelle Hampton died in her 27th year. Muriel Hampton, 26 years old.
Your pulse is regular. She must have been completely out of control.
You tend to your wound, and I'll look after her.
Stephen, I saw her as she was about to strike you. That face, it wasn't hers. It was Muriel's.
Who are you?
Jenny, what were you doing? What happened to you, Jenny?
Jenny? Jenny? I'm not Jenny. I hate Jenny. I hate her. I'm Muriel.
Jenny. Jenny.
Did you see it too, Derek?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, I don't know what it was, but I shall certainly find out.
Stephen. With blood all over his face. But it wasn't me. Please forgive me. But what do you think she wants from me? Why does she torment me so?
Jenny, I saw it too. It's true. A strange and terrifying phenomenon. That you can be sure that nothing will change my decision. I'm going to help you, Jenny.
When you speak to me, I begin to have some faith again and a little bit of hope. Promise not to leave me, Derek. I'm so afraid.
I think it would be better for you if you were to leave the castle. Just for a short while. Some place that's calm and quiet.
Very well. Just as you say.
But his being here makes things so dangerous. Why did he go down into the crypt last night? Maybe he found out something.
He found out enough to hang us both. He moved the slab on Muriel's tomb and discovered it was empty.
So then we are ruined. He could turn us over at any moment now. You must stop him from leaving the castle at all costs. We must...
Keep quiet. I know what we must do. You were looking for me, Doctor?
Why, yes, I was. I wanted to have a few words with you before you went to the laboratory.
Nothing would please me more.
Thank you.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you. I wanted to speak to you about your wife. I'm convinced that it is absolutely necessary for her to leave the castle for surroundings more suited to the cure of her mental troubles.
What is the matter? You may speak quite freely.
I want to tell you there are ghosts in this castle, Dr. Ira Smith.
Really? Tell me, have you seen them yourself by any chance?
Souls living in another world, trying to hide themselves behind Jenny, trying to possess her, to destroy her mind and free will. Your wife is not mad, but she runs the risk of becoming so if she continues to live here in this castle.
Quite realize that. It was I who asked you to come here, and I shall abide by any decision you feel it necessary to make.
I have already mentioned it to Jenny, and I'm sure she will agree.
All the better. Will you be taking her back to the same clinic where she was treated before?
Definitely yes, to begin with. I plan to take her away with me tomorrow. Well, I'll leave you to your work.
Thank you, Doctor.
Are you sure it will work? Wouldn't poison have been a safer way?
There isn't a poison which leaves no traces. In this way, we don't run any risks, and the result is the same.
Come in.
Excuse me, sir. I forgot about the clean towel.
Oh, that's all right.
Wow, intrigue, spookiness. I don't know what's going on. I've been intrigued by this movie. I'm watching it. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I haven't watched the movie. Like sometimes I play it. Sometimes I put it on as like background music, noise whenever I'm like working on a project or writing or doing. But it's kind of cool to sit there and watch it. It's like, wow, this is really cool. It's like, is Muriel still alive? Is Jimmy really crazy? Is Steven going to get his comeuppance? Is anything going to happen to him? You don't know. You're going to find out at the end. But it's kind of cool just to sit there and enjoy this movie and like, get into it.
This one is certainly a case.
Spooky.
Very serious.
I love this kind of stuff. It's like this gothic, creepy vampire type horror stuff. Another movie I'd like to play next time would be Dementia 13, which is a cool one. And then there's also like I Bury the Living, which is another good one. That kind of has that kind of vibe, that creepy. I don't know what's going on, but then I'm lost in this whole world. I love it.
Something else.
I love it. I love being live. I was a little nervous about being live, but this is fun. I mean, if you're watching, you enjoy it, let me know. Send me an email. ReggieWalsh13@gmail.com. It's the email address
Is there anything else
that we
I can
get
you, madame?
all this stuff from. Now, there's another one which is Stainless
All I
Wings
want to do
Productions
is
at
leave
yahoo.com.
before it's too
That's the
late.
email address. So if you see those, email one of those and get in touch if you want to be part of it. Yeah, if you just enjoy it, it's fun. It's fun to get into these movies. It's fun to be a horror host. This is a fun business to get into. Because we don't get paid for it. We don't do this to get rich and famous. We do this because we love horror films.
I realize that what happened to Jonathan was
You know,
a painful shock to you, but you mustn't be disheartened.
I know a lot of people do this as a hobby. It's like a side
Stephen,
thing
I
they do. They
can't
do other stuff. They have a 9-to-5 job, but they come and do this.
I want to stay here.
And it's fun because it's like keeping the tradition alive. The
and leave
tradition
Miles
of like
Garrett for whatever he
the
chooses
Saturday
to do.
night, Friday night
Anything will
horror
be better than
movie,
this hell.
monster experience with the creepy
Jerry,
guy hosting it.
I thought
Ooh. Fun, huh?
he's bewitched you with his stories.
I know I'm going on rants again.
What
I
do
go
you
on rants
say?
a lot.
Why are you talking
My
like
mind
that?
goes all over the place. I'm like,
You have
ah!
so much faith in him now.
But this is
Now-
cool because I think
see that his so-called
we're all gonna be
treating
pleasantly
you
surprised at the
was
end of
just
this
an
film
excuse to
about
flirt
who is
shamelessly
really
with you,
going
and
on
don't say
doing
you didn't
everything.
realize it yourself.
But
So
I'm
let's get back to the movie. Ready, Steven?
I've known Derek for years.
All right, let's get
He's
back
such
to
a
the
good friend
movie.
of
See the
mine.
exciting conclusion to Nightmare Castle.
He's so affectionate.
Here on
and
Midnight
so-
You may
Chills.
be blind, my
Auf
dear,
Wiedersehen.
but I'm not. I know his type. Affectionate, unselfish, and always ready to take advantage of a beautiful patient. Weak and rich
No, don't you dare say that. Derek hasn't done anything wrong.
are caresses, holding hands, and soft looks all part of the cure. You forget that greenhouses are made of glass, and I am not blind. I love you, Jenny. I don't want to lose you. I can't stand the idea of your going away with him. Don't leave me alone, Jenny.
I don't want to, Stephen. But I'm so frightened here.
We'll go away together. Tomorrow. We'll go to Spain, to Italy, wherever you want. You'll leave all your nightmares behind you. And we won't come back here until you have completely recovered. All right? Then we leave tomorrow.
Just as you say, Stephen.
Certainly, this journey can do you nothing but good. You'll be able to amuse yourself, to breathe purer air, to find real tranquility. But I cannot pretend that I shouldn't have preferred another solution.
Do you mean the asylum, Dr. Derrick? Or have you other plans?
But Jenny, why are you saying these things? It seems as if you had suddenly lost all faith in me.
Perhaps you see me as some clinical case to be kept under observation and studied. It would be bad enough if that's true, yet in a way I wish it was so. Because if what happened last night has put any ideas in your head, I'll be obliged to consider you simply one of the most contemptible of men.
I realize that after what you have said, there's nothing I can answer. Whatever I might say would only confirm your suspicions. Now, the only thing left for me to do is to go away. But before I go, I want to tell you this, Jenny. I have always been very fond of you. And any time you need me, I shall be happy to help you.
It's so cold tonight. That damn blood. It's turning to poison in my veins. Cold, heavy, like mercury. She wants it back. Muriel, that witch, she wants her blood. Stephen, do something. Save me. I need new life. Young, pure blood. I need Jenny's blood.
Very well, then. You'll get it tomorrow.
Who are you? Muriel? Where is your body?
My heart. Oh, take my heart. Oh, take my heart. My heart. Oh, no. Oh.
Who killed you? Stephen?
Well, have a good journey, and thank you again for everything you've done for my wife.
There is nothing to thank me for. And would you please say goodbye to her for me?
Goodbye, Derek. I'm grateful to you for trying to help me.
Oh, I'm delighted to be able to wish you a pleasant trip once more. And I hope to see you again very soon.
Why are you going? Don't you find enough to interest you here? Do you like the Hampton Crest?
Goodbye and good luck.
When? Now, Stephen, I beg you. We must be far from here before he is able to speak to anybody.
I am preparing the electrolysis. You know that it's only a matter of a few hours. Everything will be ready for you by this evening. And then we'll leave during the night, all three of us. At least officially. I'm going down to the laboratory.
Stephen! Listen, Stephen, I wonder if...
Come along. There's no time to lose.
What are you doing, Stephen? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm going to free you from your nightmares forever, Jenny. Your sister is calling you, isn't she? Can't you hear her? Now that damned voice will be silenced forever! Miserable Hampton Witch, your race is finished!
Stephen, I can't stand it!
You will sleep now. A long sleep
Stephen, let me go.
that will be without any
What have I
more
done?
dreams.
What have I done?
Peace, Jenny. Come along now, lie down. will still take a couple of hours. I'm going up to prepare everything for the journey. You stay still.
Yes, Stephen. It's my flesh you are touching. The flesh you thought you destroyed. But you can't destroy flesh any more than you can love or hate. It's all the same thing.
What do you want? I punished you for your crime.
No. You gave me extreme pleasure. You taught me the pleasure of the torment of the flesh, which turns into ecstasy. Yes, Stephen, that passes through life into death and receives eternity. Now I'm going to reward you with that same pleasure. Come, darling.
Stephen. Stephen.
Don't be afraid, Stephen. I'll stay with you with my body and my senses until someone comes and destroys my heart. Scream, Stephen. Curse. Beg. Yes. Now I've got your body and your monstrous soul, if there is any such thing in your damn being. It's my moment now. Hell!
Don't worry, Jenny. Now all of your nightmares are over and done with forever.
Well, I guess that's the end. So everybody got what was coming to them. They gotta realize that like some modern filmmakers or like ones from the 80s and 70s and 80s kind of borrow from this and other films from that era. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Creepshow with George Romero and Tom Savini. The whole thing about the corpses coming back to life and getting revenge. It's very Night of the Living Dead, very Romero-esque. So I think maybe he might have been inspired by this. You think so? I don't know. But see, everybody borrows from something else. This is the most fascinating thing about filming. And then people complain, there's nothing original anymore. Why is everything just a remake? Well, everything's been done already. Sorry to say, everything's been done already. Every kind of story's been told. The thing is, to take what's already been done, put a new twist on it. That's the fun part. So I can understand when they're remaking The Fly or The Blob. See, the remake of The Fly from the 80s, David Cronenberg's film, that one was a beautiful remake because it took the original idea and it modernized it and made it something poignant to the world around them, because AIDS was a big deal back in the 80s. And there's a metaphor about AIDS and the decay and the rebirth. And this kind of monster. That was really like the metaphor they were going for with this, was cancer and AIDS and things like that. And the Blob, that was like the original Blob. There was an alien creature from a meteorite, and in the remake, it was a government experiment gone wrong, and it was a piece of like military. It was a militarized creature that was running amok in a small town, eating everything in sight. So there's a lot of that back in the 80s. So, like, if you go see the 50s movies, they were remade in the 80s, and then nowadays, all the stuff in the 80s is being remade. So it's like a cycle. It goes around in a circle. It's like this infinite loop of like. So, but I do have a problem with that. My problem is like I think that there is a lot of cool original stuff out there. It just, a lot of people don't know it exists because they don't really look for it. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I'm really into the Conjuring series. I like them, and like I enjoyed the remake of The Omen from like 2006. That one was great. That was a good remake because it took the original movie and it modernized it, put a spin on it, made it better. And not all of them are good. Some of them are just like done just as a way to make a quick buck out for the name. But I think this one could be remade and be interesting. I'm going over the tangent again, I'm sorry. But the point that I'm trying to make is like, I think this movie kind of inspired a lot of the stuff from the modern era, around the 80s, zombie horror, Tales from the Crypt, Creep Show kind of stuff. And it kind of inspired that. And I could tell that they were trying really hard back then to make something gothic and creepy and scary. Because it had the elements of like Vampira and like, you know, that weird, sleek, vampire, black look to it. It was really fascinating to me. I really enjoyed watching that with Barbara Steele. She was great at that. So, where was I going? I'm live. I'm a little nervous. I'll be back soon. I'm alive. Stephen, thank you. Let's see. I know I'm off on a tangent again. I'm sorry. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, this is my first time actually sitting down and watching this movie and really paying attention, because it's just fascinating. It's like, wow, this is EC Comics. This is Dark Shadow. This is all that stuff. And it's really cool. I dig it. We got a minute left, so we're gonna roll out of here. This is the end credits. This is Radio Walsh's Midnight Chillers, hosted by me, Edgar Von Ghoul. And we'll be back soon with a brand new episode. So don't worry, we'll be back soon. This is his time's up. I'm taking it tonight just to play my movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, shoot an email. Check us out. Auf Wiedersehen.